quoting whatever is most comfortable. Okay.
Well, first I wanted to just thank Sarah and her group for inviting me to this today. This is exactly what a newspaper ought to do, in that it elicits, and what it includes elicits community conversation. And I have no doubt that we would not be in this room today if it wasn't for the distribution of this DVD. Some of you might find that to be wrong-headed of me, but I think that a good newspaper, when it does things correctly, gets the community discussing important issues, and this is one of them. That said, I wanted to first kind of mention a little bit about kind of how a newspaper works, because it may sound odd to you, but I need you to understand the internal workings of a newspaper a little bit to understand how we came to the decision to distribute this. If you draw a triangle for a newspaper, you have a news component that makes up one side of that triangle. You have an opinion side of the triangle, which is intended to influence, and it's usually done so on the opinion pages of the paper. And then you also have a third leg of that triangle, which is advertising. This DVD was an advertisement. And so to begin by addressing the questions that Sarah wanted us to address in this little discussion to get things going, should the Obsession DVD have been distributed? Given that we did decide to distribute it, my answer is obviously yes. It is advertising, and it is meant to influence. It was distributed as an advertisement. Was it a powerful means of sending an ideological message? I think it was. I think proof of that is this room today. Was it wrong to distribute a strong ideological message? No, in my opinion. And several people have asked me, don't you think it's political in nature? And some people find that the fact that it is political in nature to be offensive. And I would say certainly it is political in nature. I don't think that's even debatable. But I have to ask you, what's wrong with that? There are a lot of political advertisements that we run day in, day out, especially at this time of year, especially in an election year, that are meant to convey an ideological message. We asked ourselves before publishing this, does it break any laws to distribute this? And does it push people, does it drive people to break any laws? And that might be something that's debated here today, but our answer to that question is no. If you've watched the DVD, and it looks from a show of hands like most of you in this room have seen it, I would argue that there's no takeaway from the video. It's certainly selling you an idea that you can agree or disagree with, but in the end, it doesn't ask you to do anything. It doesn't even ask you to contribute money or means or anything to a cause, which left us a little bit perplexed, quite honestly. Sarah asked to answer, what is your evaluation of the DVD's content? And my opinion on the content of the DVD is really not an issue, just as my opinion on any other advertisement that we run is not an issue for me to consider. My opinion about what the ad is selling is largely irrelevant, so long as it does not condone illegal activity or push people to break any laws. And the third question is, what has been the impact of the DVD, especially locally? The Forum did receive some criticism for distributing the DVD. We received a handful of letters to the editor criticizing our decision to distribute it. A few folks denounced our decision and the DVD at a press conference that was held, which the newspaper, mind you, covered and wrote about. And shortly after the DVD was distributed, we met with a group called the Ibrahimic Interfaith Group. They had requested a meeting with the decision makers at the newspaper, and we did meet with that group and others who were interested in being in that meeting. And we discussed the issue for more than an hour and a half. But at the same time, many people also complimented the newspaper for distributing the DVD. They said it was good for them to see it. They felt more informed, whether they agreed with it or not. And believe it or not, others were prompted to watch the DVD after all the publicity and criticism about it. We heard from many people after the press conference that was held about a week after we distributed it, denouncing our decision to distribute it. People saying they were going back to their recycling bins or to their garbage to fetch it out and pop it in their DVD player. We heard that many, many, many times over. So certainly it brought more attention to the DVD than had it not been criticized. That's about all I have for